We're here back in the Fantasy Bar, 6 of my favorite plays for week 1 over on Yahoo, including my favorite correlation quarterback wide receiver stack, some value plays for you at the wide receiver position, a couple workhorse running backs I think are too cheap, and what stud should we pay up for this week? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Week 1 edition, Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack specifically for the Yahoo users. We will be doing a 6-pack each and every week, covering Yahoo pricing for everybody out there. And while we're talking Yahoo, a lot of big changes this season. First of all, make sure you use promo code GRINDERS25 on your first deposit to get a free $25 over on Yahoo to try out the product. Also, they've added single-day offerings now. That's right, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. You'll get those. The $1 Million Baller Contest is live for week 1. Just a $10 entry there and not even half full as of this time and as of this recording. So potential overlay on that thing. A live final this season on Yahoo as well. And finally, the Yahoo Cup, over $150,000 in total prizes, free to play, cumulative leaderboard. The winner is going to win themselves a live final seat in that thing, and who doesn't like free? So folks over at Yahoo have really stepped up their game this season. I'm excited to be playing over there and excited to be providing you 6 of my favorite Yahoo plays here for week 1. Now, before we get into those picks, do me a favor. First thing, click that thumbs up button on YouTube. That's the tip jar here in the Fantasy Bar. Helps us out tremendously. Second, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Going to be doing different videos each and every week. Don't want you to miss any of those, so subscribe. And lastly, if you're thinking about sports betting, if you've been into sports betting, whatever it may be, make sure you go and check out scoresandodds.com/beer. The link in the description of the video, but you're going to get tons of betting information there. Compare odds across different sports books, analytics, premium picks, myself included, will be providing premium picks this season. Tons of information over there, guys. Weekly, monthly, yearly subscriptions available in all sports at one low price. Click the link in the description of the video, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, we got all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Let's get into the plays here for this week. We're going to start at the running back position. A guy I think is just too cheap on Yahoo, and that's Joe Mixon, just $24. So I'm a big Joe Mixon fan, so take this one with a little bit of a grain of salt. I'm a big-time believer in this guy this season. I know a lot of people have their concerns with Joe Mixon, but let's specifically focus on week 1. First of all, we mentioned that price. Just a little bit too cheap here. You look at some of the more expensive running backs, and sure, who doesn't love Kamara? You guys know I love him, McCaffrey, and so on. But Mixon, a guy that can compete at that level and get the same level of touches, and we don't have to pay that big-time price for him now. So Gio Bernard, we know, is now in Tampa Bay. I think that's going to lead Joe Mixon to even more involvement in the passing game. Nobody really behind him on that depth chart I'm really worried about at this point. And some may shy away from this matchup. Vikings historically have a pretty good defense. Not last season, 5th most fantasy points allowed to the running back position and gave a lot of rushing touchdowns as well. 3rd most rushing touchdowns to running backs. I think Cincinnati wins this game outright, and they do it riding the back of their workhorse, Joe Mixon, leading us off here on Yahoo. All right, let's get you some more value at the wide receiver position. Another guy I think is too cheap, Jerry Jeudy of the Denver Broncos, just $15. So Jeudy in for a massive season, in my opinion. I think he's going to be the breakout guy at this position here this season. A lot of reasons I think that. We'll get into some of those here right now. Let's go back to last season. Look at some of the numbers. This guy got a ton of air yards. In fact, 6th highest air yards at the wide receiver position, yet only 65% of his targets were considered catchable with Drew Lock under center. Now you insert Teddy Bridgewater, and the matchup here between these two fits perfectly. Bridgewater, a very accurate passer. Jerry Jeudy, an incredible route runner. In fact, in my opinion, one of the best route runners we have in the NFL. So I think that's going to lead to great chemistry between these two. Great stats for us as well in the fantasy community. Now, I also think you're going to get very low ownership on this play. There's a lot of games on the marquee with bigger totals, around 50, higher than 50. This one's sitting below 42, so I wouldn't go nuts with this game, but I do like the spot here for Jerry Jeudy. I think he's a $25 receiver. We're only paying $15. Great opportunity to buy low here in week 1 on Jerry Jeudy. All right, back to the running back position. We're going to stick with our theme of guys I think are too cheap. and that's Antonio Gibson of Washington, just $25. So like Jeudy, I think Gibson going to take a big leap, and he has been a popular pick throughout the summer, ended up being a first-round pick in most of your fantasy drafts and best balls. And I think there's a great reason why. And here on Yahoo, I think it's a great buy low at just $25. Now, additions to this offense, I think are going to make them even more explosive. Last season, we saw the struggle at the quarterback position. Well, you bring back Terry McLaurin, one of the best at the wide receiver position. Logan Thomas, an ascending tight end. You add wide receiver Curtis Samuel to the mix, an explosive playmaker, and you bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's going to make this offense that much better. This is also a team that wants to win defensively and by running the ball. And guess what? Antonio Gibson going to be that guy doing the heavy lifting, a guy I think gets more involved in the passing game. Yes, even with J.D. McKissic there and the Chargers, middle of the pack against running backs as far as fantasy points allowed, but did give up a lot of receptions, bottom 10 in that category here. And again, Gibson should be more involved in the passing game. I think he gets off to a great start here in week 1 against the Chargers. All right, let's go to the tight end position here. We're going to spend some money. In fact, we're going all the way to the top. Travis KELCE, $33. Now, a lot of you saying, okay, it doesn't take a genius to tell us to play Travis KELCE, and it does not, but the debate you're going to have every week is, should I spend up on Travis KELCE or should I move that money elsewhere? And that's where I really wanted to hammer the point here in week 1 with Travis KELCE. We have a ton of value on this slate, and as the season goes along, it's going to be a little bit tougher to get this guy in your lineups. But here in week 1, the pricing a little bit softer as the sites figure things out. So $33 here on Yahoo can fit very easily with KELCE. So he's a guy I definitely want to go out of my way and get in the majority of my lineups. Not only that reason, but the tight end position in general this week, kind of ugly here. So I'll lock in the guaranteed production and find more value at some of the other positions. We got more value coming for you. Don't worry, we'll make life easy for you getting Travis KELCE in this lineup. So it's not only for that reason, it's for the matchup as well. Last season in the playoffs against Cleveland, went for 8 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. And over his last 7 games at home, this guy has been very consistent. In fact, 19 or more fantasy points in every single one of those games, averaging over 22 Yahoo points over that same stretch. And Cleveland really struggled with the tight end position in 2020. In fact, bottom 5 in pretty much every major category: receptions allowed, touchdowns allowed, fantasy points allowed. Travis KELCE worth every single dollar here. Get him in those lineups this week against the Cleveland Browns. All right, I promised you more value to make life easy. Fitting guys like Travis KELCE, let's go back to the wide receiver position. We're going to roll with the rookie, DEVONTA Smith of the Eagles, $17. Now, I know there's a lot of question marks here with Smith. How quickly will he acclimate to the NFL? Concerns about his size. I say nonsense on all of that. This guy gets a very good matchup here in week 1 with this Atlanta team on a fast track in the Dome, in a place he's very familiar with. Alabama's played many games in this stadium, so some friendly confines here for DEVONTA Smith. I also think we're going to get a lot of points in this game. I love the over on this game. 2 defenses that are very bad, especially in the secondary, so I think there's going to be a lot of scoring here in this one, especially through the air. And this Atlanta defense I mentioned bad, they are one of the worst, if not the worst, against wide receivers. In fact, no team last season allowed more fantasy points to wide receivers than the Atlanta Falcons. Also allowed the most receiving yards here. And Smith, yes, he's got some competition with Jalen Reagor, with the tight ends there, but I think he quickly ascends to the number 1 target here for this Philadelphia offense. Price is fair, matchup is great. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger here on DEVONTA Smith here in week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for week 1. But before we do that, we want to continue and run a Beast of the Week contest. What does that mean? Very simple, free to play. All you have to do, get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on Yahoo for my Beast of the Week. Include your RotoGrinders handle as well so we can find you and notify you if you win. But the closest guess is going to win themselves a free month of RotoGrinders Premium. Can't beat that. While you're in that comment section, let me know your favorite play of the week as well. Give me your Beast of the Week down in the comment section. So without further ado, let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play on Yahoo for week 1. You know him as the Beast of the Week. All right, Beast time. We've yet to give you a quarterback. There's a reason why. My favorite play on Yahoo this week, quarterback Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles, this week's Beast of the Week. So So absolutely love this spot for Jalen Hurts. Very much like his teammate we just gave you, DeVonta Smith. I know there's some concerns about him this season, about his passing ability. Well, we couldn't ask for a much better matchup to start the season and get this unveil for this Philadelphia offense. And we get here with the Atlanta Falcons. Also, the price. You look at some of the higher end quarterbacks, there's definitely some studs here. And if you're spending up on a Mahomes, on a Josh Allen, on guys like that, I don't blame you, but I also see names priced above him, like Ben Roethlisberger. Should not be priced above Jalen Hurts. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we just talked about the low total in that game. Even on the other side of this one, Matt Ryan, more expensive than Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert in a tough spot with a Washington defense. The point is Jalen Hurts way too cheap here, gives you that same level of upside with his rushing ability. And we saw that last season in his few starts he got towards the end of the season. This guy averaged almost 24 Yahoo points a game over the last 4. That includes that last game where they yanked him out and he was on his way to a massive game. So these numbers could be even higher for Hurts. Atlanta, as far as the matchup goes, not good at all. In fact, not good against rushing quarterbacks, which is really the point I want to hammer home here with Jalen Hurts. 9th most rushing yards allowed to quarterbacks last season, 5th most rushing TDs as well, and fantasy points were plentiful as well. 2nd most fantasy points allowed to the quarterback position. So another guy very familiar with this building here. You can pair him up with DeVonta Smith, my favorite pairing. You can add a Jalen Reagor, however you want to do it. You run it back with a Pitts, with a Ridley on the other side. Boom, you got a nice little game stack here. Or even using Jalen Hurts naked, which means you don't have to pair him with anybody. Whatever you want to do here, I am a fan. Jalen Hurts, easily my favorite play on Yahoo in this week's Beast of the Week. All right, guys, that wraps up here for week 1 on Yahoo. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have any comments, questions, feedback on anything else, again, that comment section is there for you. Don't forget fantasy points for Jalen Hurts here on Yahoo for your shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. Grinders 25 on your first deposit. If you haven't played on Yahoo, go and check it out. Again, a ton of overlay possible in that $1 Million Baller contest, the live final, the Yahoo Cup, and those single game contests. Yahoo really bringing it here in the 2021 season. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Best of luck here in week 1. Enjoy it. Sit back, have a cold one, let these games play out, and hopefully you're taking down one of these big contests over on Yahoo. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.